is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. A student was arrested at Miramar High School this morning. The school's principal says he brought a weapon to school. In a message to parents, the principal said the school's security team found the weapon after a metal detector went off. There is no threat to the school or the students. 2 women were rushed to the hospital. They were both stabbed at a Miami apartment. This happened at Collins Park Apartments. It's on Northwest 20th Avenue. Neighbors tell us a man stabbed his mother, who was in her 40s, and his grandmother. They're both in critical condition. The son was taken into custody. We're going to have a live report coming up at 5. A man accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend to death faced a judge today. Officials say it happened in front of her 3-year-old daughter. He is charged with second-degree murder. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner reports from outside the jail in West Miami-Dade.
Monday morning, 29-year-old Joy Chandra Nath appeared in front of a judge.
Good morning, Mr. Nath. So you were arrested for 1 count of second-degree murder and 1 count of child abuse.
He's facing several charges, including second-degree murder. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said around 4 p.m. on Saturday, they were flagged down by the family of 24-year-old Maria Camila Garcia Molina after her 3-year-old daughter was found wandering their neighborhood near Southwest 144th Street and Southwest 134th Avenue with dried blood on her face.
Killing the child's mother in front of the child.
And then abandoning the child into the street from the car afterwards. Yeah, I would say that would be a child abuse.
Deputies searched the area and found Molina stabbed to death in the back of her car. According to investigators, Molina's daughter told them that her mom was with Nath and that Nath hit her mom in the head and that she was now sleeping. Investigators later found Nath walking around the neighborhood with scratch marks on his face, neck, and arms.
Granting the state's motion for pretrial detention, holding you with no bond.
Nath is not allowed to pay any bond on the murder charge and will stay behind bars as the case moves forward. His family joined him on the Zoom, but did not speak.
Thank you, Mr. Payne.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Well, after a dry start to the week, showers and storms expected on their way tomorrow. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera.
Yeah, we're going to try to get some showers and storms in and accumulate a little bit of rainfall here. That would be nice with the drought conditions. But right now, as you said, Naja, we're starting the weather where we left off for the weekend. Just gorgeous stuff here. A few cumulus clouds. You can see not much in the way of anything across South Florida. But as we head over towards the northeastern part of the state, already into places like Jacksonville, this is the shower and cluster of thunderstorm activity that I'm going to be following for tomorrow. Expecting this to continue kind of backtracking, right? It's unusual kind of a movement here. It's a front that's going to go in the other direction. So the showers and storms will move from northeast to southwest. And I think tomorrow, beginning around at 10 o'clock, that's when we're going to be looking at for the potential of not just some showers, but even some thunderstorms. So as far as planning ahead, as we check in on conditions for the afternoon, 10% in the morning. I don't think this gets going until around 10 o'clock. And then by the afternoon, if we're going to get lightning involved here, some thunderstorms, it'll be between noon and 2 o'clock, and then we'll just kind of wind things down as we head through the end of the day. So kind of an unusual setup and unusual timing, right, as the peak of the event would be in the middle part of the day. As far as how much rainfall I'm anticipating, I don't think it's going to be a lot, and the reason for that is that we're going to be dealing with a fast-moving system here that's not going to have much of a chance here to get in on the, activity kind of hanging out and giving us some good totals as far as accumulation. So this is what we're working on, tracking the storms. And then for tomorrow, as we head into the afternoon, I think that's going to be our best shot of seeing thunderstorm activity that would accumulate anywhere from a quarter to as much as half an inch of rainfall. I think that would be about the best we could hope for as the system moves in from northeast to southwest. It's the only thing I'm looking for the rest of the week, because after that, the front's going to continue pushing down to the southwest, and you see the boundary right there. That is just going to fall apart and lose its steam as it heads into South Florida for tomorrow, which is a good thing, because that's had the history of producing some severe weather as well here. And so here is the Next Weather rain tracker just close up so you can see what happens tomorrow as we head through the afternoon. We'll see the showers and storms that are kind of pop up through the afternoon if they develop here. You can see that moving from northeast to southwest, and all of a sudden we're raining pretty good. And I have to say there are some models that are depicting a drier solution, so we're going to go with this. About 40% rain coverage for tomorrow. And as far as accumulation, that is going to be very highly dependent on whether we get thunderstorms or whether we just get some passing showers. But right now, looking again for a potential quarter inch. I think best case scenario, we got a half an inch, but that would be exactly where thunderstorms kind of move through. The rest of us will see minor totals and minor accumulations here. Just some leftover showers on Wednesday, and then we quiet things down for the rest of the week with high temps in the 80s.
Ivan, thank you. At least one person is dead and several others injured. It's following a hit and run accident between a boat and a ferry in Clearwater. Authorities say a private boat plowed into the ferry and then fled the scene. It was carrying 45 people. It happened near the Memorial Causeway Bridge last night. 6 patients were declared trauma alerts. 2 were taken to the hospital by helicopter. The wreck came at the end of the 17-day Sugar Sand Festival. Many people were taking the ferry back and forth for the event. The Coast Guard says it has identified the boat involved in the collision. A second person has been arrested in the theft of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's purse, and that person was arrested right here in South Florida. The Secret Service, ICE agents, and Miami Beach police arrested 51-year-old Cristian Montecinco Senzana at Walgreens. It was on Collins Avenue in South Beach. His arrest form says he's homeless. The Secret Service says he's being held on an immigration detainer. Agents say he's linked to a pattern of robberies and thefts in Washington, D.C. Officials say the suspect stole Noem's Gucci bag while she ate dinner with her family at a D.C. restaurant on Easter. A second person was arrested in D.C. Investigators do not believe the theft was related to her position. Now to the latest on the Trump presidency. The Trump administration is highlighting its efforts at securing the border. And this comes as President Trump is preparing to hit his 100th day in office tomorrow. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand has the latest.
DEA agents raided a nightclub in Colorado Springs Sunday, saying they arrested more than 100 undocumented migrants and seized drugs and weapons.
While you're all sleeping at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there are men and women out there enforcing the law and making this country safe again.
The arrests come as the Trump administration touts its efforts to secure the border during the president's first 100 days in office.
We are in the beginning stages of carrying out the largest deportation campaign in American history.
But the White House is facing questions about due process for individuals and families, especially in light of the deportations last week of 3 U.S.-born children and their migrant mothers to Honduras.
They weren't deported. We don't import U.S. citizens. The parents made that decision, not the United States government.
The White House's border czar says there's been around 139,000 deportations since President Trump took office. The administration has put these posters on the White House North Lawn of people it's identified as unauthorized immigrants convicted of crimes. With the Trump administration's immigration crackdown, advocacy groups say they've been flooded with calls.
Not only is there that fear, though, but there's a lot of uncertainty about what to do. It's almost like people are paralyzed.
While President Trump's overall approval rating has fallen during his first 100 days, a majority of those surveyed, 56%, say they approve of his program deporting immigrants in the country illegally. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The student union at Florida State University opened its doors for the first time. That's since the deadly mass shooting on campus. There will be a moment of silence. Many seniors were hoping the student union would reopen before they graduate. Classes resumed last Monday, and today begins the final week of the semester. 2 men were killed and 5 other people were hurt in the shooting. When we come back, when the conclave will begin the process of selecting a new pope. The Vatican's Sistine Chapel is closed to tourists today. Officials now say the conclave to elect the new pope will begin on May 7th. CBS News Miami's Chris Livesay is in Rome with the latest.
As day broke in Rome on Saturday, the faithful and the curious began to arrive in St. Peter's Square to pay final tribute to Pope Francis. They were joined by 50 heads of state and delegations from 130 countries worldwide. A global show of respect for a man who had tried to reconnect the Catholic Church with the people, like Ida Benson from Austin, Texas.
Honestly, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm pretty overwhelmed for the opportunity to be here. I lost a child 6 years ago, and because of him, I am here. My son is right next to him, guiding him and welcoming into his kingdom.
Held with pomp and ceremony in the splendor of the basilica, the service was simplified by Francis before his death and referenced his service and humility. His body was then slowly driven through the streets of Rome as mourners lined the route to his burial place outside the Vatican, the first pope buried beyond those walls in over a century. Instead, he chose the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, where he prayed on the first day of his papacy in 2013, alone during the coronavirus pandemic, and later leading prayers for peace in Ukraine in 2022.
He's done his work, what he needed to do on this earth, and he's with God now.
He now rests in the earth in a corner of the church he chose. His headstone reads simply, Franciscus.
So many people down in the square told us they will miss Pope Francis for being a voice for the voiceless at a time of growing authoritarianism around the world. Now it'll be up to the cardinals at the conclave next week to elect the new pope if the church will follow down that same path. Chris Lipsey, CBS News, Rome.
That does it for the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.
Some much needed rain is on the way. We're timing out the showers and what it will mean for our temperatures.
And coming up tomorrow, we've talked about limiting screen time for your kids, but experts also recommend limiting screen time for parents. A psychologist explains why it's important for parents to model good behavior when they're setting boundaries.